Afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist. You know me, I love talking lumber. Lumber. So, right now we're seeing the lumber futures climbing pretty dramatically. And now I don't know if that's off of the news that I'm about ready to tell you or not, because to be honest with you, the prices have dropped so far so fast that I would only have anticipated that we would have seen a bounce off of these lows, off of the recent lows. Now, really, lumber throughout history should have been around, say 300-400 per thousand. Right now, I think it's trading somewhere between 550 and 600 per thousand. So the prices are extremely elevated considering what they have been historically. But when you consider that they were at 1,700 per thousand at one point, 500 per thousand or 600 per thousand seems like a very normal price. Now, I talk with a lot of guys that work mills, and a few of them have told me that the way that from the cost of logs and the cost going into milling, that anything under, if I remember right, 600 or 500 per thousand, I can't remember, it was one of the two, 500 or 600 per thousand, that the profitability of the mills diminishes dramatically. Like, they need to be over 600 to meet for the cost to meet production. Did I get that right? So 600 per thousand is like probably where the mills are going to see the normal at, where they can run a production, be profitable, and stay operational. But somewhere under 600, I'm guessing that they won't be, or that they can't be there for very long before they start having issues. And right now, Canfor has announced that they will be going into curtailments. They will be curtailing 115 million board feet of production starting July 26th. Now, this is something that you would not expect to happen in the middle of summer, would be lumber curtailments. In fact, just a few months ago, they were wanting congressional investigations onto why the lumber prices were so high. But now the lumber prices are very low. And these mills, although Canfor, the announcement for curtailment wasn't due to the prices, their main issue was transportation and getting the material away from the mill. Like, basically the rail and the transportation of getting the material away from the mill has either been, I don't think it was because it was too expensive. I think it had to do more with the wildfires. At least that's the condition that they're explaining it. And that these wildfires has limited the availability of them to just simply get their material into the supply chain. So they're going to curtail until either the weather gets better or the situation gets better or whatever. I can only assume that if this mill curtails, there could be others behind them about ready to do the same, because they're not in this game by themselves. So if they are having issues, the other guys are having issues as well. So it's only a matter of time before we hear that the other mills start curtailing development as well. Once these mills curtail development, you can see the prices go way up again. Especially if we're sitting in a situation where we have the low inventory like we have right now for homes. The demand for homes is extremely high. However, the builders are nervous about the pricing that they had seen, the availability of material to try and even complete a house, and then what I'm assuming is probably going to be some really turbulent waters when it comes to trying to sell a home over the next, say, 3 to 6 months. Because if the foreclosures kick in and the eviction moratoriums end, we could see a flood of inventory come onto the market. However, it doesn't say that the municipalities or the different individual states or somebody else may try to keep the people within their homes. We don't know that yet. But if we go off the idea that there's going to be evictions and foreclosures, come 3 months or so, we could see quite a bit more inventory than we are experiencing today. Something I got to thinking about, with these elevated prices in the homes, if some of these homes do go into foreclosure and end up getting sold or go to auction, the prices could be so elevated that even if these people hadn't been making their payments for like the last 12 months or 15 months or whatever it was, and it gets foreclosed on and sells, it may sell for a price that not only like covers all the missed payments and, you know, everything for their loan, but then actually give them some money at the end. Like foreclosures could end up being profitable to people. Like they didn't pay anything, they lived in the house for free, they didn't do anything, and then in the end they lose their house and they get money. Wouldn't that be a trip? All right, Uneducated Economist. You guys let me know.